Before I went to watch Missing, I watched Searching, which is a spiritual predecessor by the same creators of this movie. I didn't watch it in 2018, even though it was always on my watch list. But once I saw they were doing this version of the film, I was like, yeah, let's just dive into it and let me check it out. And I absolutely love Searching. It was so good. If I could give it a rating, since I didn't watch it, I would give it an A. I couldn't believe how good it was. It wasn't too gimmicky. So I was hoping that they would be able to strike once again with that bottle of lightning. And I think that I really went into Missing with high expectations. Hi, my name is Zach. This is Zach Attack Reviews, and thank you for joining my review of Missing. I'm going to be breaking down the good, I'm going to break it down the bad, and before I do that, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be reminded of my reviews, reactions, and more. Missing is directed by different directors this time, and you can definitely feel the difference. It's starring Storm Reid and Nia Long. Before I get into the good, before I get into the bad, let's start with the premise and the rating. When her mother disappears while on vacation in Colombia with her new boyfriend, June, played by Storm Reid, search for answers is hindered by international red tape. Stuck thousands of miles away in Los Angeles, June creatively uses all the latest technology at her fingertips to try and find her before it's too late. However, as she digs deeper, her digital sleuthing soon raises more questions than answers. Missing is rated PG-13 for some intense violence, language, teen drinking, and some thematic material. So the gimmick of the techno thriller horror film has been being used in the last 10 years a lot. The Den, Unfriended are two examples of movies that used it well, but it were just okay. But it wasn't until 2018 Searching where I was like, wow, this is great. This is actually fantastic. It not only has a great story that would be good on its own without the gimmick, but they use the gimmick really well and it enhances the story and enhances the gimmick at the same time. Make the story that may not be digestible for some people very digestible and engaging. So it's exciting to see what the same writers from that movie, but with different directors, are able to bring with Missing. Are they going to be able to bring some of the nitpicks and faults that the first one had, and level them up and creates the special feeling of that first movie? Or was it gonna like get dry and they're gonna do this again and use the same old stuff? Right off the bat, once the first 10-15 minutes of the movie started, I was like, wow, they really minimized the nitpicks that I had for the first film right away. While Searching started off a little slower, stayed in the past for a long time, made you really feel for this family as they show the moments through their lives through videos on the computer. They do that a lot quicker here, knowing that people may have saw the first movie already, and also people may not want to go to the theater and see that slowness in the beginning because the movie ramps up. But they move a lot quicker here, get into the central mystery, keeps you engaged, and it has a great use of today's technology. When Searching came out, some of the tech they used felt like it maybe was 4 or 5 years older than 2018, but in 2023, the technology has changed so much since 2018, and they catch on all those things right away. So it makes it fresh and relatable. And you're like, okay, I recognize that and I know how to use those things and I get it. And it's done in a meta way that makes the movie a lot more fun. And if you're not familiar with Searching or Missing or haven't seen the trailers, what the gimmick is that this movie is not filmed in a standard way where it's a camera set and it's filmed in real time and you're seeing the scene play out. It's filmed through either the camera on the person's laptop watching them or through FaceTime or a smartwatch, a security camera footage, or someone's phone. And sometimes they'll have it in a first-person POV when the person is sleuthing and going through different files, and so you can see what they're doing, and you feel like you're right there doing it with them. So they use that to enhance the thriller feeling and make the audience feel engaged because it brings out, well, at least for me, the internet sleuth that you feel like you are sometimes to the max. So sometimes you feel like you're playing along with the main character, trying to figure out the mystery before they get it, and see like if you could figure it out before they do, and go like, oh, there it is. And in Searching, that happened a lot for me, and it happens even more here. And with clever writing and great use of the story that they tell you and things that you think might not be important, it plays along when you finally figure out, oh, that's what it is. And as the character figures out, you're like, wow. So if you didn't figure it out before they did, you feel like, wow, this movie is really taking me on for a ride. And the central mystery is simple. Storm Reid plays June, a young girl who is grieving her father. Her father passed away when she was young. Father Day is coming up, but her mother is going on vacation with her new boyfriend, who she doesn't like that much. Mother is supposed to be, getting picked up by her. She doesn't meet her at the airport. She gets worried and she starts searching for her missing mother, played by Nia Long, who does a good job as well. When it seems that the FBI is incapable of finding her mother or slow moving, she does everything in her power with her internet sleuthing to find anyway a little thing that she can help the search go faster, and hopefully her mother hasn't passed away. But as she does that, and as the movie takes you on this ride, it just discovers more and more and more things that she did not know about her mother, and things about her own life that she gets surprised about, and it surprises as well. It's like every time she finds out something, you're like, whoa, another thing is here, and it all ties together really well. Storm Reid is fantastic here. This is the first role where I get to see her do like a leading role, where she gets to do more of her acting chops. She's not like Oscar worthy or anything, but she does a great job of being the central character. It's very interesting, riveting, and she plays this daughter who's, like I said, grieving, and she's not interacting with her mother as much as her mother would like, because she's upset with her, feeling like she's forgetting her father. And she plays that role, this character that's just not in like in a very depressive mode, but then turns into this internet sleuth and is very believable. She's not so smart that it doesn't make sense, but smart enough that you could root for her really, really easily. The tech gimmick, the intensity of the thriller as the movie goes on, central mystery and how it's twisty and turny and takes you on all these different rides, and all this information is thrown at you, but it's done in a digestible way. They know how to slow down. Director and a writer and Storm Reid herself uses silence in a really great way. When she finds out like something, like they puts her at a dead end, she kind of just sits there and processes it, and you as a viewer gets time to process it as well. So it keeps the film always engaging. And it's also a lot funnier than Searching is. There was some comedy here and there in Searching. I want to say comedy, but like humor in Searching. But there's some really funny meta jokes about how we are with technology, and just plain out jokes, especially in the beginning of the film, that made me and the people in our theater laugh and go, "What?" Like it was really, really good, and really, really a juxtaposition to how dark and thrilling it got later on in the movie. While I think that Storm Reid is great as the starring character here, and I was worried about that because I've never seen her star in a role or hold like a scene really well, she did a fantastic job to me, almost on the level of John Cho in Searching. I think the supporting cast here is not as strong as the supporting cast is in Searching. They don't reach the levels there that I think that the supporting cast did in the first movie. And they were, it's not terrible. Nobody brings a bad performance, but they're a little bit more melodramatic than they were in Searching. Like it kind of almost reaches soap opera levels sometimes, but it never gets too far because they find a way to ground it. And part of that is because the story, because obviously this is their second film in this franchise, I guess. It goes bigger. It's a bigger scope. It goes more international, more global. It involves, the FBI instead of the police like it was in the first one. And it just, a lot more is going on with this story, and in a lot more spaces. And I feel like they started stretching the believability of the story just a little bit, that might cause the audience to kind of like spate, like, whoa, this is so crazy. But I think that they ground it in real trauma, real things that happens, and we know that's going on, and it brings the heart into it that centers the story. So you can let those things go by, but it is something in the moment you're like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. But as the movie goes on, you're like, you know what? I like the way they're bringing me on this ride, and it's starting to come back down and get to a personal story. So I break down my verdict into two parts. Who's this for? Should you go check it out? And my overall feelings. Let's start with who's this for and should you check it out. If you're a fan of the first film in this franchise, Searching, definitely check this out. This is almost as good as Searching was. And if you're a fan of mysteries, if you're a fan of documentaries about like missing people or, you know, how murders are done and how technology is affecting our lives, I think this is a dramatization and a great way of seeing that done in a movie. And if you've seen other techno thrillers and you like them, I think this is one of the better ones that has come out in the last couple years. I'm glad I got to see Missing in theaters. I didn't get to see Searching in theaters, and I really wish that was a more of a communal experience because I feel like watching it with others, it just like you can grab onto your friend and go like, "Oh shoot, did you see that? Whoa, that's crazy!" I'm gonna tell like in my theater. There was a guy that was sitting like 4 seats in my same row, and we kind of connect the eyes really quickly because something weird was going on in the theater. And then when we were watching the movie, we kind of oohed and ahhed at the same parts, and we looked at each other when something was revealed. It was like, "Yo!" And it was just, I had that theatrical friend in that moment, and I think that that's what this movie does, and it's just a really, really fun ride, and I think you should check it out. But if this is not your jam, if Searching wasn't, you know, something that you wasn't blown away by, definitely check it out later on streaming or PVOD. How I feel overall, I think that even though I enjoyed Searching more than this, still think this is a great iteration. I think they improved on all the faults of Missing while keeping the heart. The performances are not as great, so I can't hold it up to how good I thought Searching was, but they're great enough that this is a worthy watch. And with that said, I'm going to give Missing a B. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Missing if you saw it already? And if you did not, let me know in the comments below if my review swayed you on to go see it or swayed you to pass it on by. Like the video if you like my review, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, and ranking lists. I have, reviews, reactions, and different videos coming soon. I have a special live video I'm going to be doing on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that, and you can watch more of my content